It's always wonderful to come back to the lively Hungaroring. A popular destination this, nice and close to the beautiful city of Budapest, with some exciting racing to boot. Who can forget Michael Schumacher pushing his old teammate Rubens Barrichello up towards the pit wall in 2010, or those great races of 2014 and 2015 as well. The Hungaroring, it's like Monaco without the boats. 14 corners, 6 to the left and 8 to the right, and some very tricky corners to deal with. These rainy conditions out there aren't going to help either, so it's very likely we'll see a safety car or two during today's race. And it's an absolute pleasure to be joined once again by Anthony Davidson. Let's talk about Mia. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
It's been a really solid year so far. There have been some incredible standout performances, but what's really impressed me has been the consistency. With this kind of form, I'm expecting another great race today.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Mia lines up on pole position, just edging out Alexander Albon, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Perez, Gasly, Max Verstappen and Faber, Russell, Ricciardo, Hamilton and Sebastian Vettel, Stroll, Leclerc, Carlos Sainz and Raikkonen. Butler, Hülkenberg, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen. Bottas and Antonio Giovinazzi starts from the back of the grid. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
Okay, the run into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care. Great start. Let's get back on track. revs down, early upshifts, later downshifts. On the MGU-H, the power unit is going to be more prone to overheating. Seeing at least 20 minutes of light rain. Inters seem like the fastest tyre for now. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. There's a fair amount of wear to the engine now. Just be aware, we're keeping an eye on it. That's a new fastest lap for the race. Lucas is in P4 at the moment. The difference is 1.3 seconds. They're on fresh inters. The time last lap was a 1:38.2. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. To teammate behind is 6.9 seconds. There's 12 laps of fuel remaining. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay. work. That's a new fastest lap for the race. We're leading our teammate by 25.4 seconds. We're still happy that we're on the right tyres at the moment. The fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. It should be a few laps at least before you start feeling too many tyre issues. They seem in good condition for the time being. You're putting a good distance between yourself and the car behind. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. Turbocharger is on its last legs. Let's try to keep mileage on it to a minimum. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. information on Albon. They have an issue with their car. They're going to be slow. Lucas is in P3. The gap is 47.9 seconds. They're on old inters. The time last lap was a 1 minute 36.7. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining. This is your final lap of the race. This light rain is going to be with us for a while now. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. Green flag. Absolutely fantastic. It's a brilliant result. Well done.
So, another excellent win from Ferrari. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
Rain always has the potential to liven up a race and mix up the order, and they've taken full advantage of that to claim the victory today. It's always a bit of a lottery when the conditions are like this, but they've managed to stay on circuit and have come out on top.
Here come our winners now. A thrilling race and a tremendous effort by Ferrari. Their history is well known, so it's no surprise to fans the world over to see them come out on top once again. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. Mir increases their championship lead. Now let's discuss, Ants. Who would you say is a contender for driver of the day?
I think it's got to be Lucas Weber. Time and time again, he proves that he's someone who can quietly get the job done, and that's exactly what he's done today.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Ferrari continued to extend the gap at the top of the table. There was also a strong showing from the Mercedes team today as they make their way up the standings. Well, that was certainly an incredible win.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts.
It wasn't the cleanest race today, was it? was some contact between you two. What happened out there?
Well, thanks anyway.
Great work. That's exactly the kind of result I'm looking for. Keep it up. All right, the terms have been agreed. All that's left is to sign the paperwork. You'll be on this new deal from the next race weekend. You're being compared favourably against your teammate. Well done. As long as you're in the same car, they'll always be your #1 rival. So it's important to keep this up.
It's qualifying time at Spa, one of the mightiest tracks on the Formula One calendar. Long straights, up and downhill, Eau Rouge as well. This track isn't for the faint-hearted. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximising top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on in the corners and max out down the straights?
Top speed is a key factor for this circuit. Even if you can achieve the same lap time as someone running less wing than you, chances are you'll find overtaking difficult if you have too much drag.
Fantastic. You've got pole.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three. Mir, Perez and Pierre Gasly. With qualifying complete, all that remains is
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. It's looking like a winner has emerged in the championship. Is it in the bag? Are you hoping to have your reliability issues sorted out before qualifying? Appreciate your time.
Well done. That was a good qualifying performance.
Who doesn't love the Belgian Grand Prix? It's the race, of course, that gave maiden pole positions to the Jordan and Force India teams, with Rubens Barrichello and Giancarlo Fisichella respectively. Jordan, of course, would then go on to better that here in 1998 with their first ever victory. And you can guarantee that something special will always happen at Spa-Francorchamps. But what that something is today is anybody's guess. Spa-Francorchamps then, a 4.35-mile tour of the Ardennes countryside, with 9 right corners and 10 left corners, giving us a grand total of 19. Average lap speeds in the dry can reach about 145 miles per hour, but without a significant improvement in these conditions, we won't be seeing anything like that today. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant, and tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Mir lines up on pole position. Sergio Perez lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Gasly, Butler, Nico Hülkenberg and Russell. Verstappen, Albon, Weber and Charles Leclerc, Hamilton, Raikkonen, Sebastian Vettel and Magnussen, Sainz, Bottas, Lance Stroll and Daniel Ricciardo. Giovinazzi and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, La Source is always pretty tight, but we've got a clear run. Remember the runoff if you need it. Start was okay, now stay alert for threats around you. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Ease up in around 5 minutes. 5 minutes till light rain. We've reached a worrying level of wear on the internal combustion engine. Let's try and keep the revs down. Early upshifts, later downshifts. We're seeing a loss of power from the turbocharger now. Loss of power on the turbo. Engine is down. There's a significant amount of wear on the engine now. Okay, we're hitting the rated limits on the MGU-H. The power unit is going to be more prone to overheating. Circuit's definitely looking better than it was a few minutes ago. If we can just move a bit more of that standing water, we might be able to get onto the intermediates. Max is in P4 at the moment. The gap is 25.0 seconds. They're on fresh wets. The time last lap was a 2 minute 11.2. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. This rain could be with us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future. It's hard to say if inters or wets are better right now. Gap to teammate behind is 26.5 seconds. They're on fresh wets. They're in third. The time last lap was a 2:10.6. Wear to the engine puts us at risk of an engine failure. Keep temperatures in the optimal zone. Are coming in for inters. It's touch and go, but could be worth the risk. We'll be ready if you want to box. Confirming that we'll be fitting the intermediate tyres. We'll receive you at the end of this lap. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up. Exit. Exit now. Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. That was our last stop. No more scheduled pit stops. Got 2 laps of fuel left. cars showing a clear patch on its way. There's about 10 more minutes of this rain. We're leading our teammate by 29.0 seconds. This is your final lap of the race. Some information on Russell. They've got a serious car issue. It looks like they're retiring. Caution, yellow flags ahead. No overtaking through the caution zone. Be careful until you see the greens. Okay, the incident has been cleared. You're making history. That's your 13th consecutive win this season. 13 was certainly a lucky number for you today.
Great effort there from Ferrari to take the victory today. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, time management probably played quite a large role in the outcome of this one. As ever, it's not just about speed, it's all about maintaining that speed consistently over a stint, over a race distance. So being able to keep up the lap times while still being smooth on the controls and gentle on the tyres, that's really where the race was won today.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari. And after this round of the World Championship, here's how things look in the drivers' table. Mia increases their championship lead. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
Daniel Ricciardo certainly impressed me today, an incredible performance.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. It doesn't get much better than a win at this track, does it? Things looked close between you and your rival for a bit, but you came out on top, didn't you? How do you feel the weather affected the outcome today? Great. Well, that's everything.
Excellent result today. Finishes like that will look good on your contract reviews. On to the next one.
What do you think of this one? If it were me, this is probably what I'd invest in.
Practice is all wrapped up as we move into qualifying here at the Autodromo di Monza for the Italian Grand Prix. Any moment now, the teams will be heading out onto the track. When it comes to getting lap time out of this circuit, it's traditionally been about maximising top speed. Do you simply remove as much downforce as possible, hang on into the corners and max out down the straights?
The teams will have arrived with all manner of parts designed to capitalise on the long straights. The cars will be that much harder to drive in the corners, but everyone will be in the same boat.
Okay, good job, mate. Really well done. That was a fantastic drive.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Mia, Russell and Pierre Gasly. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just...
Well done. Very solid results. You're looking good for the race.
The Italians love their cars and they love their racing. And of course, they love it here at Monza. Home race for Ferrari, of course, who've had 18 wins here since 1950. But you know, there's not been so much luck for the locals in the cockpit recently. The last Italian driver to win this race was back in 1966. So what now? I think it's time to make some more history here today. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest circuit in F1. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some closer action. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. Let's talk about Mia. They've got a really good lead in the championship going into this weekend. So it feels to me that they've got one hand on the trophy.
Let's not get too ahead of ourselves, Crofty. Yes, it looks like a big lead, but all it takes is a locked break into turn 1, a sticky wheel nut in the pit stop, and that could all get turned on its head. You can never discount one more sting in the tail.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's race. George Russell will begin today's event from pole position, and it's Pierre Gasly in P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Butler, Nico Hülkenberg, and Verstappen, Weber, Leclerc, Albon, and Sebastian Vettel, Ricciardo, Raikkonen, Lewis Hamilton, and Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Magnussen, Lance Stroll and Valtteri Bottas, Sainz and Mia. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Okay, this is the team's home race. We're all relying on you to impress today. Officials have enabled DRS. DRS is now available. Seeing a loss of power from the turbocharger now. Loss of power on the turbo. That was a big one. Confirm you're okay, please. Okay, clear. Strategy is available on the MFD. Okay, copy that. Take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage. We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on mediums. Cede that position or receive a penalty. Max is in P4 at the moment. The difference is 3.1 seconds. They're on fresh softs. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1:27.2. Nice move. Good job. Let's box this lap. Please. Release. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead. Green flag. Is in for his stop. is 10.9 seconds. Has boxed for the mediums. Car behind on the medium tyre. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. Is 2.2 seconds. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. final lap of the race. Gap to teammate behind is 10.4 seconds. This is it. You've become the Drivers' World Champion after that result. Wonderful job and well deserved.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. Ferrari have really pulled it out of the bag today. It's a great win. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
I think the key here was just the quality of the racecraft, you know? I mean, how many overtakes did they make overall? I'm sure we have a stat person keeping score somewhere, and it's fantastic to watch, wasn't it? This is a strategic sport at the end of the day, but it's always really gratifying to see close-fought battles on track. It's what all the fans are after.
Let's see how the driver standings have changed. We also crown a new champion today, as their lead at the top is now an insurmountable one. What a great year it's been for Formula One. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Mia. They did a great job at getting the most out of their tyres without losing pace, something that's a very handy skill to have in modern-day Formula One.
Let's move on to the constructors. Ferrari continue to extend the gap at the top of the table. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
First of all, congratulations. You must be thrilled. You were cutting your way through the field during the race. That was a close finish. How are things between the two of you? Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash? Appreciate your time.
Great work this weekend. It was fantastic to see you up on that podium.
I recommend we could go for something like this. What do you think of this one?
Welcome along again to the Marina Bay Circuit. The atmosphere is thick, not just with humidity, but with tension as well, as we get ready for qualifying here at the Singapore Grand Prix. So, could be a tasty one today then, Ants. We've got all the ingredients, that's for sure. Treacherous conditions, an ever-changing racetrack, and one or two cars just behind the pace setters who maybe, just maybe, fancy a bit of an upset after a good performance from them in free practice.
And the question has to be, of course, what is that circuit going to look like in 10 to 15 minutes from now? If you think the rain's going to get worse, then you have to be straight out when the lights go green to find whatever grip you can. But if it eases off, then you're better off waiting, saving the tyres, and going out at the perfect moment. The other thing that comes with these conditions? Traffic, and the lack of visibility that comes from sitting in the spray. It's going to be a constant problem, and I expect to see a lot of frustrated drivers with ruined laps out there today.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Mia, Russell and Nico Hülkenberg. With qualifying wrapped up.
Well done. That was a good qualifying performance.
As the sun sets over the South China Sea, the sport that never sleeps is alert and raring to go. Welcome, under the bright lights of the Marina Bay Circuit, to another Singapore Grand Prix. It's a very long, very physical lap, this one, and really there's not much in the way of margin for error. So we have a bit of an endurance race for you tonight. The Marina Bay Street Circuit then has 23 corners, 13 to the left and 10 to the right, taking us a total of 3.1 miles around the landmarks of downtown Singapore. An average lap speed around here, just 107 miles per hour. Anthony Davidson, thanks for joining me once again for the Grand Prix. Let's talk about Mia. They've had a fantastic campaign. It's been a wonderful year, and they come into this weekend's Grand Prix as a fully deserving champion.
It really is well deserved. I wouldn't say it's been a faultless title challenge, but certainly one that has been consistent and well managed. Here's hoping they let off a bit of steam today and give us an exciting race.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Mia lines up on pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Hülkenberg, Weber, Pierre Gasly, and Perez, Leclerc, Verstappen, Butler, and Alexander Albon, Ricciardo, Vettel, Valtteri Bottas, and Hamilton, Sainz, Magnussen, Kimi Raikkonen, and Lance Stroll. Giovinazzi and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Okay, we've already won the championship, so relax and enjoy this race. That's a decent start. Good job. window. You'll be on mediums. We're seeing a loss of power from the turbocharger now. Loss of power on the turbo. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Got that confirmed. This lap, push hard on the in-lap. This lap, keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed. Max is currently in P9. The difference is 15.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 45.5. Go now. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. In the pits. The gap to the car behind is 2.2 seconds. Is now the race leader. The gap to the car ahead is 5.8 seconds. The race leader. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. issue with the control electronics box. That's going to do additional damage to all other power unit components. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. laps of fuel remaining. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining. Fantastic! You've won the Grand Prix.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé. What a fantastic race it was. Anthony Davidson, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
I really feel the track layout combined with the track temperatures we saw today suited their car. These cars come alive when the tyres are just at the right temperature, and the driver did a great job managing that as well. They just look so comfortable out there. It's like anything, it always looks so easy when it all just clicks.
Ferrari are at it again, an excellent performance at today's Grand Prix, and they're certainly a team that know what they're doing out there. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, Lance Stroll would be my pick. He managed to keep a cool head today whilst pushing through the field.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. So then, Ferrari have now moved out of sight and out of reach. It's another triumph for the Italian team as they claim the World Constructors' Championship. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
That's a great result. You did really well. I don't think we can have any complaints with that performance.
If it were me, this is probably what I'd invest in.
Welcome F1 fans, where qualifying will be starting in the next few minutes as the teams prepare to get out on track at the Sochi Autodrome here in Russia. It always looked like the kind of track that asks an awful lot of the rear tyres, such as the frequency of low-speed exits.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
Fantastic. You've got pole.
With qualifying finished, it's time.
Well done. Very solid results. You're looking good for the race.
I recommend we could go for something like this.
Great work rising to a tough challenge from your rival. You've come out on top for the time being, and there's a real positive buzz coming out of that. Let's see more of this.
Welcome one and all to the Russian Grand Prix. We're just a stone's throw from the Georgian border here at Sochi as we get ready to begin the race that served up an absolute cracker back in 2015. A last lap collision between Kimi Raikkonen and Valtteri Bottas sparked controversy in that race, so let's hope the racing is just as tight today. It's time to go racing then at the Sochi Autodrome, where the long run down to the heavy braking zone at turn 2 is one of 2 DRS zones around this 3.6 mile circuit. The other, of course, down into turn 13. 18 corners make up a lap here today, with an average speed somewhere in the region of 130 miles an hour. Joining us today to oversee all the thrills and spills, it's Anthony Davidson. And great to see you. How are you feeling about the race today, and how are the circuit conditions from what you've seen?
Well, it's looking a bit cold out there, if I'm honest. These tyres have quite a narrow operating window in terms of the temperatures they need to extract the best grip. So with a cold track surface, it's going to be harder to keep those temperatures up, which will lead to lower grip and maybe more mistakes.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Pierre Gasly lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Hülkenberg, Devon Butler and Albon, Hamilton, Russell, Verstappen and Lucas Faber, Stroll, Bottas, Kevin Magnussen and Raikkonen, Sainz, Vettel, Antonio Giovinazzi and Daniel Ricciardo. They've taken a grid penalty, Grosjean and Mir. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Keep your eyes open on the run to turn 1 and keep it clean. We want to come out in one piece. Good luck. Engine off, engine off. We're in a good position. Nice move. That's going to do additional damage to all other power unit components. That's a new fastest lap for the race. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. leaving space between you and the car behind by a few seconds per lap. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Confirmed. Approaching the pit window, you'll be on the mediums. Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Leading our teammate by 21.2 seconds. Go, go. Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tires. Leclerc's taken the lead. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. made it look easy. Pierre is in for his stop. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Green flag. To teammate behind is 34.0 seconds. The time last lap was a 1:43.4. The gap is 47.9 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. You has just fitted the hard tyres. Car behind, running hards. This is your final lap of the race. Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty. We're not going to be able to run in this engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix 2 soon. job. You've done everything we wanted today.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, when you overtake that many people, I'd certainly hope you'd win the race. Their car was really effective in the slipstream here today, and the team will be pleased that they didn't cook the engine, given how long they were spending in the hot air behind other cars. They had a lot of confidence to push their tyres hard as well, especially going into the corners, which allowed for some late braking and some exciting passes.
Looking at the podium, you can see that red suit familiar to fans across the globe. A world-class win for a world-class team. Ferrari do it again. So, Anthony Davidson, who would you rank as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Mia. They pushed and pushed and found some fantastic performance. It was just a pleasure to watch.
So then, Ferrari have now moved out of sight and out of reach. It's another triumph for the Italian team as they claim the World Constructors' Championship. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You really cut your way through the field today. What was your... There are rumours that you're looking for a contract with another team. Is there any truth to that? Do you have any comments about the collisions? You left some bodywork out there on the track. Were you struggling? Great. Well, that's everything.
Fantastic podium. Well done. Keep pushing like this for the rest of the season. Looks like one of your rivals has also been invited to a historical event. This could be a good opportunity to play up your rivalry for the press and expand your reputation. Our proposal has been accepted. The new contract will take effect from the next race weekend.
Hello again, and thank you for joining us today for one of the few events this year that won't have a critical impact on the World Championship. So maybe we can all relax just a little bit more and enjoy the action from this wonderful field of historic cars.
The stewards will give you a penalty.
Congratulations on your success in the invitational events. It might not help you in the championship standings, but it definitely helps to build your reputation.